highly recommended by, you know who, right?
Yes, sir.
You want to say his name?
Mr. Youngkin, Governor
Yes, sir.
Youngkin. Yes, sir.
We stole you from
He
Governor
called
Youngkin.
me,
Right.
he called me. You've done a fantastic job. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Go ahead.
The men and women of the Metropolitan Police Department are back. They enjoy doing their job again. They feel the ability to go out and be law enforcement officers. They feel that they're connected to their communities again. They are making a difference. Thanks to you, Mr. President, and our federal task force, you are making DC safe once again. Thank you, sir.
It's going to get better and better. Well, it can't get much better. There's no crime. I read where crime's down 89%. I said, really? Who are the 11%? Okay, there's no crime. JD, please.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks, Mr. President. Thanks to the incredible team here. You know, I was want to echo something the president said, where you say there haven't been murders in a couple of weeks in D.C., and it doesn't sound good, but then you talk to local law enforcement, and I didn't realize that this town averaged one murder every other day for the last 20, 30 years, which means that in 2 short weeks, the president and the team have saved 6 or 7 lives, people who would have been killed on the streets of DC, who are now living, breathing, spending time with their families, because the president had the willpower to say, no more. We're not going to give the streets of DC over to vagrants and robbers and murderers. And the last point I want to make, sir, to your point about we want people to welcome us, to ask us, because look at Governor Pritzker in Illinois, or Governor Newsom in Los Angeles, or Governor Moore in Maryland. They are angrier about the fact that the president of the United States is offering to help them get their crime under control than they are about the fact that murderers are running roughshod over their cities and have been for decades. Why are Democrat governors angrier about federal law enforcement helping clean up their streets than they are about the fact that those streets need to be cleaned up to begin with? It shows a real sickness in the head. And I agree with the President of the United States. I think most Democrats, rank and file, nobody likes crime. Republicans don't like crime. Democrats don't like crime. Independents don't like crime. Why are Democratic governors doing everything in their power to make crime easier to do in their cities? It doesn't make an ounce of sense to me. But Mr. President, I appreciate you being willing to help. And I hope these governors take you up on the offer, because we should clean up all of America's streets. It's the right of every American to live in safety and comfort in their community.
And we've got the people to do it. They're signing up like they've never signed up before. Our military, as you know, during the campaign, nobody was signing up. We were way short of their goal, we were understaffed. Nobody wanted to be in the military. Nobody wanted to be a policeman. Nobody wanted to be a fireman. They didn't want anything to do with the country. We had an incompetent, grossly incompetent president who frankly should not have been there. He should have never been there. The damage he did to this country is incalculable. I mean, just what he has done. So much of our effort are getting murderers and jailbirds and people out of this country who are drug dealers at the highest level. So much of the energy of people that he let in, it was an unforced error. But I don't think they think it's an error. But I don't believe he believed it. It was the radical lunatics that surrounded this guy at this desk, who are brilliant people, but with the wrong philosophy. There were some brilliant people, but they're evil people, and they're going to be brought down. They have to be brought down because they really hurt our country. But we're getting it back very quickly. And I'll tell you something, our country's now it's stronger. I think we're more respected than we've been respected in 100 years. It's a whole different ballgame. JD, could I ask you,
Yes, sir.
You gave a stat on murders here. What were the numbers? You said in a short period of time, how many people were murdered?
Local law enforcement told me, sir, that in the past 20 or 30 years, DC has averaged a murder every other day. That's, 200 murders a year, 150, 250, but about every other day, a person has been killed on the streets of Washington, DC. We've been doing this for 2 weeks. 0 people killed. That's real lives saved that the media and frankly, the entire Democratic Party should be saying, thank you for saving lives instead of attacking the President of the United States for doing so.
When a person, unfortunately, will probably happen at some point when a person's murdered in DC, it's going to be the biggest story maybe in history. Right?
Yes, sir.
Somebody was murdered in DC. Trump is failing. No, we're not failing. We have a safe city. This is maybe the safest city in America right now. That's how good it is. And it would be nice to be appreciated. These people eventually, they're going to have to be appreciated for what they're doing. And they're going to have to be appreciated by the officials that are really happy when we go in because they've lost control of their place. Steve Miller, please say a few words.
Thank you, sir. So just to, first of all, follow up on what the Vice President said. No police officer working in the city can remember a time in their lives when there has been no murders. You can work at the police department for 20 years, 30 years, your whole life. We've checked the records. No one can even find a record of being murder-free for as long as we've been murder-free under President Trump's leadership. Additionally, and the President spoke about this before, we've uncovered, in the process of uncovering, a massive scandal in Washington, D.C. with the doctoring of crime stats. And the Department of Justice, under the Attorney General, is leading the effort to uncover this. But when we ultimately share the results, it will stun you. The extent to which, even though D.C. had the worst crime in America, honestly measured, it dramatically understated how bad it was. There's even accusations that murders and homicides were reported as accidents.
Not fudging the numbers. Somebody lying.
Of the crime data has been in the city, and it will all be uncovered and it will all be brought to light. You know, I've had a chance to spend some time, as has everyone here, with the police officers in the city. Members of the public are going up to them and thanking them, just overflowing with gratitude, because for the first time in their lives, they can use the parks, they can walk on the streets. You have people who can walk freely at night without having to worry about being robbed or mugged. They're wearing their watches again. They're wearing jewelry again. They're carrying purses again. People had changed their whole lives in this city for fear of being murdered, mugged, and carjacked. It is a literal statement that President Trump.
Damn, they can wear their jewelry again. Imagine that.
1,000 people in this city who were living under the rule of criminals and thugs. And the last thing I'll say is that under the efforts of Terry, to my left and many here, what they found also is that the street criminals here in Washington, D.C. were doing business directly with the transnational criminal cartels, the foreign terrorist organizations. So not only was the city being run by these criminal thugs, but they were working with some of the most dangerous terrorist organizations on the planet to traffic weapons and drugs into this city. And what we are uncovering every day is shocking to us, and we look forward to sharing all the results with you. But President Trump, your leadership has uncovered some of the great public safety scandals of our life. And now, because of you, people are safe and free for the first time ever in this city.
Thank you very much, Steve. You know, in Los Angeles, Beverly Hills is, you know, a great place. I have a house there. I had a house there. I used to stay a lot of time, spend a lot of time there. And a great place. You know that I have friends, they leave their trunk open for their car because they know they're going to be vandalized. They don't want the trunk ripped off in order for them to steal what's in the back. They leave the doors open so when they go in to steal the radio or whatever they take, that they don't rip off the door. They leave the doors totally open so the criminals, when they go and open the door, they'll have to break the windows and kill the car in order to steal whatever it is in the car that they're looking for. And that's at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Nobody lives like that. I have another friend, he has a garage, and in order to save his garage door, he leaves it open so that people can just walk into his garage, take whatever they want, and leave. But all the cars are, so many cars, I've been told this by many people, stars, big people, they leave their doors open so the doors aren't destroyed by these criminals. All over Los Angeles, this is taking place. And
Isn't that, we heard that before. Excuse me. Remember when somebody said, I forget where, just leave the doors unlocked. Remember they said to leave your key at the front door so that if they got close enough to the car, because you know you have keys now where you just get next to the car and then it opens up, right? Just leave your keys close to the door so they can just get into your car and then they won't have to come in the house. I'm like, what the fuck kind of solution is that? Y'all remember that, right?
Border or maritime seas, and then they committed crimes against the American people. So by getting those individuals incarcerated, we've stopped those violent crimes from happening here in the city. And sir, they do, exactly like Stephen was talking, they have ties to cartels. They have networks across this country and other cities. So by what you're doing here is going to have a ripple effect in Miami, in Chicago, in other cities, because you're grabbing those networks and giving us information and targeting information to go and get more criminals across this country. So thank you for the work that you're doing. We have ICE and CBP, Federal Protective Services, Secret Service, HSI, all of our officers are working with all the other agencies every day here in DC, and they're so proud to have this kind of partnership. So
I'm assuming this is Pam Bondi. Is that who that is?
you've heard, sir, but the recruitment campaign for ICE, when we were going to hire 10,000 new officers, we've got over 130,000 people that have applied and raised their hands and said they want to work with ICE. So no matter what the fake news says or what the media says about ICE not having support.
Yes, crime was down. Yes. So I don't know what he's doing this for. I don't know what he's doing this for. Is that who this woman is? Who is this lady? I don't know who she is.
It was dead. During the campaign, they couldn't get, every story was the Army can't fill up, the Marines, none of them could fill up. They were way behind. We couldn't get anybody to go into the military, couldn't get any police.
Okay.
We've just set records on everybody wants to be in. Everybody wants to go in. And we're taking incredible people. I mean, the level of, because of the Supreme Court, it's based on merit. It's all based on merit now. It's not based on anything else. You got to, if you need strong people, you have to get strong people. It's all based on merit.
I had seen someone who said that Trump was looking bad. Child, he looked the same to me. He looked just as orange as he used to. They was like, oh, he's not looking too well. He sounded the same and he looked the damn same. Child, what are they talking about? I can't.
Leading in space now. China was killing us. Russia was beating us. China was killing us. We're now killing China. We are leading in space by a lot because of Space Force. So we're very proud. But everybody wants to go in. We went from not, and you know how bad that.
See, Carl, bankruptcy is legal in business. That is a business tactic. Shout out to those that know that have run businesses before. It's not illegal to file for bankruptcy, but it should be illegal to take out a loan for like student loans and then say that you're not going to pay it back, knowing that you can't put that in bankruptcy. You used to, and people used to bankrupt specifically for that reason as well. I forget how long ago that was, but I know that was a thing.
Including a couple, and we're not including in there the what we did with Iran, stopping their nuclear play. They would have had within a month or two, they would have had a nice big nuclear weapon to use. That's not going to happen. That won't happen. Pete, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. President, thank you very much for your leadership. And the Defense Department is proud to be a part of this task force. Just like we have been down at the southwest border.
Child, I'm sorry. That's a good looking white man looking good in that suit too, child.
Border Patrol to secure the southern border for the American people. Just like Los Angeles, where ICE officers deserve to do their job without being attacked. We're really proud to be a part of it.
Imagine if all those people could still bankrupt, though. Imagine if all of those people could still bankrupt. People would just go to school and bankrupt. I promise you that's what they would do.
We're grateful to be doing it, whether they're DC National Guard or other state National Guards. And at your direction as well, sir, it's just common sense to make sure they're armed as well. And so we're rolling out ensuring they're armed, capable of defending themselves and others if need be, supporting law enforcement, and we're proud to be there, sir.
Well, look at the mission you just accomplished with Iran. 36 hours back and forth, flawless. Every bomb hit its target.
Child, that name I know. Okay, I'm just saying that name I know.
No, nothing. Every target, every bomb went right down. They have a chute that goes right down deep into the mountain. And they shouldn't have put ventilation in, I can tell you, because we use that for our advantage. But what they did, and we had the pilots and even the people that took care of the planes, we had a whole group of people at the White House a couple of weeks ago. And, I didn't realize this, but they said, we've been looking at their predecessors, and then these were the pilots. They said, we gave them beautiful medals. And I'll show you the medal. Gave them a medal just like this. See? Just like that. They were so happy. We gave a lot of them out for that. It was an incredible job. We had 52 tankers. People don't realize, so that they could refuel. We had many fighter jets, F-22s, F-35s. We had many. It was an amazing operation. It was flawless. Compare that to the operation when they went in with the helicopters crashing and everyone running around the desert, the prisoners being taken. And that was Jimmy Carter. And what a horrible thing. This was the exact opposite. This was the exact opposite of what they did in leaving a very, very nice place. The Taliban runs a tough operation in Afghanistan. And I think it was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country. That was Biden. I was leaving, and we would have left through strength, tremendous strength. We would have kept Bagram, which is the air base, one of the largest runways in the world, one of the most powerful. You could land anything on it, many, many feet thick. You don't build them that way anymore. You can't. But we left it, and now China's occupying that air base. This was the most incompetent administration in history, the Biden administration. And you're just lucky that they lost, because if they won, you wouldn't have a country anymore. And so, Pete, you started up by saying the Department of Defense, and somehow it didn't sound good to me. You know, it didn't sound good. Defense, what are we defense? Why are we defense? So it used to be called the Department of War, and it had a stronger sound. And as you know, we won World War I, we won World War II, we won everything. Now we have a Department of Defense with defenders. I don't know. If you people want to, standing behind me, if you take a little vote, if you want to change it back to what it was when we used to win wars all the time, that's okay with me. All right?
That's coming
You
soon,
go,
sir.
you let me know if you want to do it. I think Department of War. It just sounded bad. He said, sir, on behalf of the Department of Defense. Defense. I don't want to be defense only. We want defense, but we want offense too, if that's okay. So
Come on,
we'll make a
offense.
decision. But you know, as Department of War, we won everything. We won everything. And I think we're going to have to go back to that. In the meantime, I've stopped all of these wars. I've stopped them. The big one would have been India and Pakistan, but we stopped them all. We stopped 3 wars. Go to Africa. They like to say, oh, you know, I love black people. And I did great with the vote with the black people. But they say he's a racist. He's a racist. I said, really? For 35 years, a war raged between Rwanda and the Republic of the Congo. And it was a vicious war. 9 million people were killed with machetes, largely. Hatchets,
You, Joy Reid should be happy then.
machetes. That went on for more than 30 years, but 34, 35 years. And I stopped it. In fact, the presidents are coming in a week or two to sign we have the foreign ministers, it's all signed, the war stopped. But I got it stopped and saved a lot of lives. The Congo, it's deepest, darkest Africa. I got that war stopped. Nobody else could have done that. We did a lot of jobs. We did a lot of wars were stopped that nobody thought would even be possible. And I'll tell you what, the war with India and Pakistan, that was the next level. That was going to be a nuclear war. They already shot down 7 jets. That was raging. And I said, you guys want to do trade? We're not doing any trade. We're not doing anything with you. If you keep fighting, you got 24 hours to settle it. They said, well, there's no more war going. And I used that on numerous occasions. Trade, I used I used whatever you had to use. But we got 7 of them stopped. And the one I thought would be easiest, frankly, was going to be Russia and Ukraine. But that turns out to be some big personality conflicts. It's one of those things, but we're going to get that stopped eventually. We're going to get that stopped too. 7,000 soldiers died last week. Think of that, 7,000.
Damn.
I usually say 5,000, but 7,221 soldiers died last week in the fight between Ukraine and Russia. And they're not our soldiers, but they're souls. They're living souls, and they leave their homes and they wave to their parents, and their parents are so proud as they leave in a beautiful uniform, and a week later they get their head blown off by a drone.
Trump.
New form of military. It's a whole new form of
Lord.
fighting. So I would just like to thank the people that are behind me. Thank you very much. You've done a fantastic job. I appreciate it very much. We're doing a real job, and I'm so proud of DC. I passed it 2 days ago, and all the garbage is off the streets. It's terrible. I came in a month and a half ago. I'm driving down and I see garbage all over the place. The streets were a pigsty. Like I won't use the city's names, but you know what I'm talking about. There are plenty of them outside of this country and inside of this country. Baltimore is a horrible deathbed. It's a deathbed. I know Governor Moore said, oh, he wants to take a walk with me. He meant it in a derogatory tone. I said, no, I'm the president of the United States. Clean up your crime and I'll walk with you. But it's tremendous crime. But he was trying to be derogatory. He doesn't have what it takes. But he's trying to be derogatory. And I met him at the Army-Navy game. They said, oh, there's Governor Moore. He'd love to see you. He came over to me, he hugged me, shook my hand. You were there. He said, sir, you're the greatest president of my lifetime. I said, it's really nice that you say that. I'd love you to say it publicly, but I don't think you can do that, so it's okay. But No, sir, you're doing a fantastic job. I
Now,
want to just
Chris.
shake your hand. Thank you very much, Governor.
Oh no.
And then every time I see him on television, he's knocking the hell out of me. So, but that's
Westmore did not say that. I don't believe it. You be lying. He lying. He did not say that.
all right. It's called politics. But Governor Moore's he's doing a bad job. Newsom's doing a bad job.
Damn.
All of their potential candidates are doing a bad job. I can't imagine Pritzker being even a candidate, but somebody said he is. He can't do the work, can't do the job. He's not temperamentally suited. So I just want to thank you all for being here. Do you have some questions?
Mr. President, is the Pentagon, and maybe the Secretary of Defense can weigh in too, is the Pentagon preparing for military deployment to Chicago? And with what you said there, are you waiting for the governor?
We're ready to go anywhere. We have a full complement of great human beings. We're full. You know, our military is full.
Uh-oh.
We were way empty 1 year ago. Now we're full. So we can go anywhere on less than 24 hours notice.
Are you waiting for the governor?
And we're doing a lot to interdict to stop drugs from coming in too. We have ships out on sea. You know, we have nobody coming through our border anymore. Nobody. Doesn't that feel good to know that you don't have prisoners coming in and, you know, killers, murders? We had 11,888 murderers come in, led in by the Biden administration. Many of them have been captured, but we still have a couple of thousand that are out there. Some of them, 50% of them killed more than one person. Okay, but a lot of them have been captured. What they've done to our country, these people that circle this moron that we had behind this desk, what they've done to our country is unthinkable. It's unthinkable. I mean, if you think so much of our time is devoted to correcting a problem that all they had to do is say, close the borders. Remember when he said, well, I have no power to close the border. I have to go back and get an act from Congress. I didn't get an act from Congress. I came in, I said, close the borders. And Tom Homan, who's not here, has been fantastic, Christy, right? Tom Homan is great. He is a fantastic man.
Where he at?
And respected by everybody. But I said, Tom, close the borders. Christy, close the borders. The borders were closed. We didn't go to Congress and get permission. We just closed the borders. And in the last 3 months, hard to believe this one too. In the last 3 months, we've had 0 people come into our country illegally through the southern border. Nobody would have said that's possible. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, MS-13 gangbanger and human trafficker Kilmar Abrego Garcia turned himself into ICE in Baltimore. Do you have any comment on this? And why are the Democrats so emotionally attached to this man who beats his wife and is part of a terrorist organization?
Because they think he's going to be good for votes, and I think he's very bad for votes. These people are deranged. He's not good for votes. He beat the hell out of his wife. His wife is afraid to even talk about him. She's been mauled by this animal. And, you know, through a system of liberal courts, you know, he's doing things. But, no, we have that under control. And Pam has got that very much under control. Do you want to comment on it, Pam?
No, we've got him under control. He will no longer terrorize our country. He's currently charged with human smuggling, including children. The guy needs to be in prison.
This is all racist. All these white people up here, it ain't even Wednesday. This is so racist right now.
Taken off MS-13 members. We've taken, I think just last night, we got a TDA guy off our streets right here, right around from where we all work. Another TDA member gone because of this project. So we're going to keep America safe from all of these foreign terrorist organizations, including Abrego Garcia.
Okay.
Mr.
President,
If we could get your reaction, sir. The Israelis bombed a hospital in Gaza that killed 20 people, including 5 journalists.
when did this happen?
This happened overnight, today.
I didn't know that. No.
Any reaction to this? Are you
Well,
going
I'm
to
not
talk to
happy
the Prime
about it.
Minister?
I don't want to see it. At the same time, we have to end that whole nightmare. I'm the one that got the hostages out. I got them out, all of them. Steve Witkoff has been amazing. He's done a great job. But I'm the one that got them all out through my people.
Of course.
Through me. And now we're left with probably a little bit less than 20 because I think 1 or 2 are gone. And I said a long time ago, I'm going to get them out. But when we get down to that final 10 or 20, these people aren't going to release them because they're dead after they release them. So it's a nasty situation. Very nasty, horrible thing. Yes.
President, could you please elaborate on your post on South Korea? What were you referring to?
Well, I heard that there were raids on churches over the last few days, very vicious raids on churches by the new government in South Korea. That they even went into our military base and got information. They probably shouldn't have done that, but I heard bad things. I don't know if it's true or not. I'll be finding out. As you know, your new president's coming in just a couple of hours, coming here. I look forward to meeting him. But we won't stand for that. We just won't stand for that.
Sorry,
Yes.
Are you prepared to order National Guard troops, though, into American cities if those governors don't request the federal deployment?
I am, but I also think that, look, Chicago, everybody knows how bad it is.
Right.
Everybody standing there knows. We know. You don't have to be doing any studies. They should be saying, please come in.
Exactly.
Pritzker should be saying that. You know, I did a favor for Christy Whitmer. A good favor, I think, with
Ooh, do
fish
tell.
carp, China carp. Did you ever hear of it?
No.
China carp.
No.
And it's taken over your Great Lakes. You know about that, right? And she came and she wanted to know if it's possible for us to do something about it. And I said, well, I'll do it. But I think it's appropriate that the person from Illinois, the governor from Illinois, asks also. It's a tremendously expensive project, actually. It's invasive. It's horrible what's happened. And we can do it with GSA and various people, but we can do it. We're going to just have to see what happens, okay? We're going to have to see what happens. But
You have the legal
but
authority
the
to order
governor
those
of
troops?
Michigan came, was very respectful, asked for it. She's done a good job. I did that. I opened the Air Force Base, kept it open for F-35s and various planes, F-22s too. I did that for the state of Michigan at her request. And I will, and also at our congressmen. We have congressmen that are unbelievably pro-Michigan up there. But some of this stuff, like the lakes, the Great Lakes, this is a big problem that nobody ever talks about. Most of you probably have never heard of. We have a pretty violent fish that comes from China. China carp, Chinese carp.
All right. Let me just go ahead and interrupt his ass for a second. Because first of all, most importantly, I'm about to go live for lunch at noon EST. So I dropped the link. Hopefully you'll be there after this is over. So going back to the point of him coming through is to say there's no more cashless bonds, which I personally agree with. When that shit came out, I'm like, what the hell? Now, I see the poll, and some of y'all said that you think it will be disproportionately affect the poor. I don't disagree. Maybe not disproportionately affect the poor, but it will affect the poor. I don't disagree. However, so the rest of us should suffer with what we've been seeing because we don't want to offend people. That'd be the problem right there. Everybody's offended by everything. Something's got to be done, right? This man talk like he don't ever do no wrong, okay? I let him talk. He sound childish sometimes, right? But as far as this is concerned, I don't have a problem with it, right? Maybe because the blacks, the pros is going to come out. I'm waiting on Rolly Roll, right? And they're going to say that this is racist. This is against black people. I want to know when they're going to get tired of saying that and say, you know what? Why does everything affect us so badly all the damn time? Maybe we need to look into that and figure out what we need to do in order to change that instead of saying that we want the same white people that we talk about. Not we. I mean, I talk about y'all, but not like they talk about y'all. Like we talk about all time and talk negatively and tell them what they need to do. And then we don't get what we want because we all know as long as you tell people what to do, it always works. As long as you call people names, it always works. As long as you treat people like shit, it always works in order for you to get your own way, right? Okay, so keep doing that. Nothing ever changes. And you just, y'all, I see it every day listening to people talk about everything this man does is wrong and bad. People talking against their own interests, especially the neighborhoods that we've been watching for 4 years. We here? No, we've been watching it. We've been watching it. And for those people that are like, oh, the news is slanted, child, y'all keep going on the news to tell these stories and tell your stories and say that this is wrong, that's wrong, it's not right, it's not fair. Somebody got to do something about the crime. Somebody got to do something about the crime. Somebody got to do something about the crime. Somebody doing something about the crime. We don't want them to do nothing about the crime. We don't want them to do nothing about the crime. So what is it? It can't be both ways. It can't be every situation has to be looked into. There has to be a rule, and the rule needs to be followed, AKA a law. That's how it works. But somewhere along the damn lines, people just think they can do whatever they want, whenever they want, and everyone is supposed to accept it instead of saying, you know what, the majority rules. Wasn't that a game, Majority Rules? I feel like that was a game or a part of a game. Cashless bail, I think, is definitely in most of the major cities that are having the issues. So that's why, I mean, the part of the problem also is like in Baltimore, off the top of my head, which I do know well, is that when they changed that age for minors to not be prosecuted to, like, I believe it was 16. So anybody 16 and under would not get prosecuted. And that's why when they get caught doing all these jack-ins and you got kids that are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, they get brought in and then they get turned right back around out because they're not going to prosecute them. They can't do anything to them. Even if they put the damn ankle monitor on, ankle monitor ain't going to do nothing to nobody. Hell, y'all can't even keep up with the people when the damn, can't even keep up with the people who are on the damn ankle monitors. You can't even keep up with them. So they out here doing whatever they want. No one's being held accountable. Who's getting disproportionately affected by that? Why does no one want to talk about that? In the particular neighborhoods where the crime is the most, because I've always said, I said, once they gotten everything they get out of there, where you think they coming? They're going to spread like roaches. They're going to go someplace, no shade. They're going to go someplace where they can get what it is that they want and what they're looking for, right? You can only take so much out of here, so you're going to go over here. How many stores have closed down? Out there in California, that In-N-Out burger that people said was there for years. That Foot Locker store we talked about, robbed again for the third time. I just saw that video yesterday. Then when these daggone grocery stores close up, nobody knows why. Nobody seems to understand. We need a grocery store. This is a food desert. Well, I'm not, me personally, let's talk about me for a second. I don't go into business to lose money. I don't go into business so that I can just toss money out the window. So when I hear those things, it's like, okay, clearly you don't know anything about money, finance, or business. And that's okay if you're willing to learn. But if you're willing to just be a part of the problem and be a monkey wrench and shit, please step aside and shut the fuck up. If your local officials would have been taking care of your cities, then this wouldn't be an issue. But I'm not even blaming Joe Biden, honestly, because it's about their local mayors, governors, and all those people, sheriffs, all that type of stuff. People just bypass all them. What? I know I keep asking this. What Maxine doing over there for anybody? Bueller? What's she doing? I don't even know where Nancy Pelosi is from. I don't really care. Is she helping the people? But she in a white neighborhood, so it don't affect her. No shade, white people, but I'm black. And even though the colors think that I don't give a damn, at the end of the day, I do. But y'all just don't give a damn because you don't want to do anything different. You don't want to change. And it's easier to blame somebody else instead of taking responsibility. Just saw another video. I don't know if I'm going to get to it today, where somebody is finally saying, like, black women, we got a problem. It's time to let men back in so that they can go ahead and be responsible, because all these boys and these kids, specifically boys, are doing is going to jail and dying or being ABCD. Going to jail, dying, or becoming ABCD. And in the comments, they're like, what's wrong with being ABCD? Guess the fuck what? There's nothing wrong with it. But child, if you get somebody that's going to influence you to be that way, that's a problem. If you're ABCD, then be ABCD. But if you got somebody encouraging you because it's cool, imagine encouraging your kid to be ABCD because it's cool. We didn't see those videos of biatches, mostly white women, because I said I can talk about y'all too, sitting up here trying to encourage your kids to be is fluid, is what they call it, as they want to be. Child, if you don't take that shit and measure some damn water and leave me the fuck alone, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear none of that. We're not gonna be doing that to none of my kids. If later on in their life they end up saying for whatever reason that they're ABCD, that's fine. My grandkids, I mean, if I didn't say that. And my grandkids got their fathers in their lives. So if something ends up happening because it's internally from them, then fine, that's what it is. My ABCs told me that they knew they was ABCD from the time that they were young. Nobody encouraged them to be it. But we just saw that dude on I don't know if it was Kofa, if it was Trend, where they had the father doing the pole with the kids on the damn pole. He crazy. Or the videos where the mother is doing that song on TikTok and their sons come through shaking their ass twerking. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that because it's kids. I don't want to see it because it's boys. And I don't want to see it because it's inappropriate. Listen, don't do no crime then. That's what I would say. Don't do no crime. I feel like a lot of this stuff changed after 2020. And the results are here. And people can act like that these results are racist if they want to. But I don't know. Allegedly, I don't think that there's any white people going into any of these neighborhoods to say this is what you need to do. Make sure you go ahead and do this, that, and the third. Because I know it'll be, well, how do the weapons get into the neighborhoods? That's true. But does that mean that you should take it? And does that mean you should do something wrong? And I'm not saying that you should be going and sticking up other people, but you sticking up people where you live at, creating a horrible community for your community. Y'all don't snitch, as you call it. So nothing changes. And then when something happens to your person, then we all got to do something about the crime. How many times do we hear that on all these news programs? Somebody got to do something about the crime. Somebody got to do something about the crime. Somebody got to do something about all these killings. Somebody got to do something about all these jackings. Somebody. Oh, now you're mad at the body that's trying to do something because the people that you got in your local town ain't doing nothing. When y'all gonna go talk to them, Bueller? For all the naysayers, honestly, and it might not be most of our issue, praise the Lord, thank God. But for those people that are naysayers that live amongst it, what is your neighborhood gonna do? What is your community gonna do to change it? While not Joe Biden, Jamal Bryant says, do what he says. You gonna listen to that millionaire? You gonna listen to Rolly, that millionaire? You gonna listen to DL, that millionaire? Or what's his name that said to leave the country? He's still here. Remember when Ricky said that y'all needed to leave the country and he ain't gone nowhere yet and he can afford to leave? Child, at least Ellen said, I'm the fuck out of here. At least Rosie O'Donnell stood 10 toes down on what they said they was going to do. This nigga telling y'all what to do and he's standing right the fuck here and he got kids that he need to be worried about. They're not really kids, but kids that people he take care of. And he still ain't going nowhere. But y'all should go. A first generation millionaire at that. Joy Reid, first generation millionaire. Y'all, not y'all, you know what I'm saying. Y'all love listening to these millionaires tell y'all what to do. Part of the problem with the celebrity idolization. Fuck them. Fuck them. Well, you know, we are the ones that made them millionaires at the end of the damn day. And y'all would rather continue to make them millionaires and let them be the fucking spokespersons for the whole damn community. Those people? Devon said that Jamal Bryant is worth 10 to 20 million. Jamal Bryant, the alleged pastor preacher that's supposed to be saving souls, that has done some things that don't seem to be soul saving activities, then gonna tell y'all what to do to mess up your financial future. Because child, I don't care what nobody say. It ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be well the fuck off. Anybody that tells you there's something wrong with that, there's something wrong with them. So if you don't know how to make money and you don't know how to make it last, how to have a business so that you could have more money, not just lashes and wigs and shit, but real businesses. Or you gonna listen to Dr. Umar, no shade, but shade. You gonna listen to Dr. Umar and gonna pay him $500 so he can take you out to dinner. He gonna pay for it. How that sound? I'm gonna give you $500 and you can take me out to dinner. Y'all gonna listen to that shit. and you're going to follow what the hell did those people say. And then if somebody that tries to tell you, yeah, don't listen to these people, go find someone that has a fucking background in finance so that you can learn what the fuck to do, and stop saying what you're not going to do and go do something until you get to the next step. Make a fucking plan, figure out where you want to go and what you want to do. I know everybody ain't going to go, but there's a lot more that could be going that don't. Too busy listening to people that don't have your best interest at heart and always be falling for the wrong bullshit, just like listening to fucking Kendra. No shade. Because, child, if y'all gonna do it, not y'all, but if y'all gonna do it, let that woman make that money then. Don't complain later. Don't complain later. Gerard, I appreciate you, hon. I'm about to end this one because in 5 minutes we back. All right, we back in 5 minutes for a lunchtime stream. This just is a pop-up because I saw this is what's going on, and I'm going to try to figure out what else is going on so we can talk about it later because we on at 5 p.m. Busy Monday, all right? So I'm ending the stream. Thank you all so much. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. This one was open. Next one's going to be subscribers only. 12 noon EST with the beginning of ladies afternoon for lunch, and then this evening it's ladies night, all right? Shout out to y'all for listening to me rant. I see you all in 5 minutes.